used to have, remember Coke went to the new Coke in 1985. And then they came back with Coke Classic in 1986. And the formula ain't never been the same no more. You gotta put ice to it. Too late, your ass might be dead. If you get ready to have a heart attack, you better get you a can, not the bottles, because that's all based on what you put shit in. I'm learning that with drinking the liquor. You put it in a bigger glass, it changes, you know, put it in a smaller glass, you put it in this, you want to get certain taste and stuff like that. It's a science to it. The Moors brought that to Europe, distillation. So now, that's why you got to get some shit called devil spirits. I don't know if they said, you ever see some liquor called devil spirits rum? You get a hold of some of that shit, it's like 190 proof. No, it's 160 proof. Devil spirits, the spirit world love it. They love it. Devil spirits rum. You see what I'm saying? You get a hold of some of that shit, man, you roll it. Don't need no bullets, you just need some devil spirits rum. Now, if you about to have a heart attack, now I'm going to see some guy say, now you need some cayenne puppets, I say, no, wait a minute. I'm not talking about prevention. It's too late now, goddammit. You can prevent shit with your cayenne pepper and all of your doggone ginger. I'm talking about you got 5 minutes to live. You better get you a can of Pepsi Cola. Save you from a heart attack. Shit's so powerful, pour it on a car battery and see don't that shit. Clean that car battery off. Pepsi. See what I'm saying? That will save you from a heart attack. Just tell you the science on things. A lot of stuff ain't got nothing to do with here. A lot of stuff got something to do with energies. It's got stuff to do with energies. Now, where were we? You see what I'm saying? You got to understand the science. I'm not talking about Monique, like one sister said, oh, she's beautiful. And I looked at her and I said, well, you know, I can't say that she's not. Because to say she's not is to say the prototypical West African features is not beautiful. Right. You understand what I'm saying? You see what I'm saying? And goddammit, I done slept with a bunch of Moniques. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. That's the best shit. See what I'm saying? We got a girl named Coop Campbell in my hometown. And Coop Campbell, man, you were Campbell nigga. And she was bigger than damn Monique. She sat on me in the damn 3rd grade and damn near like caved my goddamn rib cage in on the bus. Same girl, when we got to high school, it was a nigga that jumped a damn 10-foot fence and cleared it. And stuff. This nigga was knocking niggas out, but he went up against Coop Campbell, and Coop Campbell suplexed this nigga. That's a move where you take him off overhead and fall back on it. He went up, Coop Campbell was a freshman in 9th grade. And this nigga was a big old senior in high school. It was knocking niggas out. And he went up against Coop, and Coop picked this nigga up and fell back on that nigga and suplexed this nigga. And blood was everywhere. Coop was so bad, Coop hit George Ann in one eye and blacked both of her eyes. And Coop cat nigga. And she was big as Washington, D.C. So I'm not saying that. But I'm trying to say the image on what they're doing when they're trying to deal with their screen god is as an image. And this is why your children think that these prototypical European features is beauty. Because they give you that in the magic. So this Anna Nicole shit wasn't nothing about nothing. They showed it for a month. You understand what I'm saying? First of all, she's dead, so she can't open her mouth and show you the idiot that she surely is. But they say she fought hella black men. And for the white man in ritualistic shit, that was good. See what I'm saying? Because that's energy that she took in. They said she had a thing for the chocolate. See what I'm saying? That's why she had a whole lot of bunch of black people around her. Right. They say she was screwing them niggas. You see what I'm saying? She had a thing. But the point I'm trying to make here is you got to understand how they do this particular magic.
Calling in. The first one you kind of went into, but maybe the second part of the first question.
Yeah.
First question was, what is death, and why are so many people become scared of it?
Yes. It is said, and even in the book Dion Fortune's book, that through the gates of death,
that the Western man is the only person that ever lived that did not understand death. So basically, when we talk about these things, we're talking about a late Western phenomenon. You see what I'm saying? Number one, because they are immigrant humans. These are the people that these are people that came too late to take the proper world stage of initiations, rites of passages, through mythology, and you see what I'm saying, and through cultural motifs of learning that will prepare people for this world. They came so late until they grew up into a world of ignorance, until the Western man is the person, and you can, if you could pinpoint a culture that didn't know death, it would be that particular one, because we're talking about a people that really didn't have a culture. They borrow pieces from every other culture. They're a parasite, scavenger. You see what I'm saying? An immigrant human. You see, now it's interesting here. So the mystery here is they weren't prepared for death because of the simple fact, the first culture, as them being a civilized people, they were handed religion. Modern religion, let's put it that way.
Okay.
Which basically is moral, mundane, inspirational ceremony, which has no room to teach about death, because the whole plot is to lock you down in a series of fear to even be ruled by these religions. So therefore, if you're going to have fear, you got to have a place that's dismal, a boogeyman type of zone that no one wants to go to, that will put them on lockdown to even want to deal with the religion. So therefore, the other world has to be the scapegoat.
Right. Okay.
It has to be the forbidden zone. You understand what I'm saying?
Oh, yeah.
And this is what religions give us. It even says in the Bible, I am a God of the living and not the dead. So it simply tells you that this is a new category of inspirational ceremony that is based on moralism, social behavior. You understand what I'm saying? It has very little to do with the realities beyond the physical world. You understand what I'm saying? So that's why it says I am a God of the living and not the dead. Well, let's ponder that for a minute. Everything has to die. So that means death is the ultimate terrain, the ultimate plateau.
That's right.
And the God, and this particular God is saying that I'm not a part of that, it means that that God has to be a subordinate deity, masquerading as the supreme being. You understand what I'm saying? You know, because he does not have dominion over that which is outside of the physical body, to the point whereas if you really study the God that they give over to the dead is the very one that we are prone and taught to be afraid of, Satan.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? So the angel of death is Satan.
Right.
Or in the early Christian teachings, they even have this name, Uzzah, or Uzzah, the god of death. Look at the word Uzzah, Osiris, which they are right. Osiris is the god of the dead. And you even get this word in early Christian mythology or early Christian teaching of Uzzah, or Uzzah, which saying in actuality, well, if you really want to deal with that, no, you just got to deal with another type of God. Just so happen it has to be being the devil in this world, because this particular teaching and this particular phenomenon of cult, or cult, is that for fear. And that for a childlike people to rear them on the lower realm at all times and stuff like that. So that is one of the reasons why you don't know about death.
So
pick up the Greek mythology, the book, Robert Graves' book, the Greek myth, which is the definitive text. The first shit start off with a woman creating the motherfucking universe. I say, stop right there. That's got to be black. If you understand history, the only people that ever had a woman as the most high is black people. This shit here can't be no white people shit. Ain't no white motherfucking people gonna put out, the woman started the damn universe. No, right there. And when they say the Etruscans, I say, oh, I got it. The Greek language, we rebel against that. That's fundamentally black. It's just that we see later white people using it. And like damn Hakeem Bey said, half them damn statues over there, them motherfuckers was made 100 years ago. And then he said it in 94. Swear to God on the damn, on the history, on the Discovery Channel. They were talking about all these artifacts that's going, they're passing off being fake in the museum. People will spend $10 million to get it. And when they do the carbon date on it, so this shit was made in damn 1972. So they dug this big-ass Greek statue out of the damn Greek Ocean or Aegean Sea or wherever that shit was. And they, the bronze statue, and they did the carbon dated on it. They said this shit was made in 1972. That goes and bear witness to them motherfuckers. The Greek shit, a lot of the statues and all was black. And they damn tore them up and made them a history in the late 1800s. Hakeem Bey bear witness to that. You know, I was out here at my, North Lake Mall somewhere and was buying me one of them old fucking them euros or gyros. They had some real Greeks, and this nigga was selling me some shit, and he had hair like my barrel here. Shit was nappy. I said, now, wait a minute. Now, common sense ought to tell me. If I'm looking at a motherfucker, I think it was 1995, and he got nappy hair like that, imagine what that motherfucker looked like 2,000 years ago, 3,000 years ago. They were black people. You see what I'm saying? They were doggone black people. You see, so that's the key. Now, let's go into this thing right now. What is the Typhonian thing? The Typhonian declined before the monuments of the early civilization and all. And this is the witness by fragments of magical, mystical lore once current in Egypt and the Far East. The tradition lingered on and became corrupt in passing epochs. The gradual attrition of the old age lineage of initiates, harassment of warring factions seeking temporal power at expenses of intemporal power, and space translating knowledge shifted the sparks that fueled the spring of ancient Egypt and represented fitfully over the centuries of alchemical writings in the West. So they said that basically this thing, it keeps popping back up over years and stuff. You just got to go to different places to get it. It's the most ancient thing. The Greek shit, because it's traced by the Etrurians, is some of the ancient stuff. So now let's go into this stuff to try to find out what this thing is. So we get the Handbook of Classical Mythology. Handbook of Classical Mythology. So we used to just pass this shit up because we thought it was white people shit. Now this shit is black people shit. Because ain't nothing out here but the black man. The Chinese motherfucker doing that karate, that's our shit. That's on the walls and temples. So they say, don't fuck with the damn Taekwondo. That ain't shit. You got to do the Kung Fu. Now, the brother was talking, my brother said, because Taekwondo, if you get on the motherfucking damn telephone booth, you can't do shit with that shit. And you know most niggas jump your ass in hallways, in some close-knit spots. Taekwondo is pretty shit, but you can't do that shit. So the Kung Fu, you gotta get a motherfucker, you gotta beat a motherfucker ass like this. That's the real shit. So right there you got some ancient shit, and then you got some shit that's a graduation from that shit, you see. And I took that old Taekwondo bullshit back in the day. And all right. I think I got my ass whipped more in the damn karate era. You know the Bruce Lee era in the 1970s? I got my ass whipped more with that shit. You know. Because my first damn teacher had a brown belt. Ain't that a bitch? Well, shit, I was in Mullen, South Carolina. This the only motherfucker down there. Huey came to town with a brown belt. That month we had a damn near 50 people. And because he was the only motherfucker, he had white boys up. And we had an integrated class in the Deep South. Because that's the only way you're going to take it. This brown belt motherfucker had the whole town. And shit like that. You see. Then as we went on, some other bad niggas came up. But, you know, but I think I got my ass whipped more back then. Now, let's deal with the Titans. Now listen to this. Typhos called the Titans the youngest son of Tartarus, Gaia. Now, let me get this right. Let me get this right. That's Typhos. That's another one. I want to get the Titans. Hold on. That's the person. I'm going ahead of myself. Here it is. Titanin. The Titans, the ancient deities of Greek mythology who ruled the world before the time of Zeus. Oh, shit now. Come on. Who ruled the world before the time of Zeus and the Olympian gods. Now, what did them motherfuckers do last year in the Olympics? They came to the Fulton County Stadium, and what they did? They did a damn ritual to Zeus, Jesus, to re-establish his tyrannical reign. Am I bullshit? Because we don't know nothing about nothing. We saw this, that's some pretty shit out there. That's some pretty shit. They did a ritual. That nigga up there talking some bullshit. Now, the shit in our backyard. Now the shit is coming home. Because when we get into this powers of Satan, we'll tell you what you got to do. They did a ritual to Zeus. Well, who the fuck is Zeus? Let's listen. The Titans, an ancient deity. Now, you ain't got to get this one. The books, all of them say the same thing. The Robert Graves book, any book on Greek myths, you get it, they go into the same thing. Okay, then we're going to tell you who the devil is. We're going to go to the real story of the damn devil in a few minutes. Now, the Titans, ancient deities of Greek mythology who ruled the world before the time of Zeus and the Olympian gods. They were taught to be the children of Uranus, heaven, and Gaia, earth. Because remember now, in the Necronomicon shit, they say, well, this war in heaven, where was it fought? So this shit was fought right here on earth. Same earth, another dimension. Before the physical. Because the heaven that you think is up, Sirius, which is here, Sirius used to be the damn earth before it became physical. The heaven is right here. And the gods who used to rule in heaven was crushed up and put up under the earth. Let's go into this shit. See, Christianity been fucking us up. You see, and that's why the white man is doing this. Now, let's go on. Okay, I ain't going to break no more. Okay. They were taught to be the children of Uranus, heaven, and Gaia, earth. Chief among them was Chronos. The king with him was associated, the king. With him was associated Rhea, his wife, sometimes his sister. Iphitus, Aronos, Titus, Heraphon, Thymus, and others. In Greek time, they were believed to be a number of 12, as the Olympian deities were 12. The Titans were apparently to be the embodiment of powers of nature and of heaven and of earth and of sea. Chronos assisted his mother in overthrowing Uranus, who ruled in his state with Rhea, his sister. Now, in fear of his sons would overthrow him, Chronos devoured all of his particular sons at birth. Now, that's spiritual in a way. Let me show you what that means. And I'm going to show it to you. See, when you read this shit, you got to think energy, or you'll be thrown off. Chronos was the father of Zeus and them. Okay? Chronos is up here on the heaven realm. Let me show you this. At first, when you think of it, you can't never look at this shit as literal. You got to look at it as energies, and you got to ask the spirit to translate it for you. And every time I read it, the spirit be in my head translating it. Well, this is this, and this is this, and this is this. Now, look at this. Look at this. This is the heaven realm. I want to. This is the heaven realm. I want to get this right here. Chronos, which is now Saturn. Chronos is up here. Chronos, having children, which is seeds, he would eat them and devour them at the birth. Now, if you talk about energy, if you at a high realm, You would devour your seed. It's like chaos. You would devour the energy because you don't want the energy to slip down here. You get it? To the lower realms. So you got to think of it that way. So they said that Chronos, who feared his sons would overthrow him, devoured them at birth. So in actuality, they was actually regenerating themselves on the heaven realm. You get it? We're talking science here. Now, regenerating it on themselves. Okay, now. Zeus, however, rescued by Gaia's help, soon made Chronos Chronos discourage his brothers. Then began the famous war against the Titans. Now, what this means is this. Let me break this down. You first had Uranus, and Uranus had a wife called Gaia. Heaven and earth, but it's the same earth. It's the energy that's in the earth. Let me break it down off of the words so you can understand it, get a flow on this thing. You had Uranus and Gaia. They gave birth to Chronos and Rhea, and Chronos and Rhea and 12 other damn Titan race of people. 12. Later on, Chronos and Rhea started devouring their children because they didn't want this shit to go down here. As a result, now, after a while, the story's going to start being familiar to you. As a result, Gaia and Rhea, mainly it was actually Rhea, just like the feminine energy. That's just the way it is. She felt sorry for the children, but you can't think of it as physical. You got to think of it as energy. So she tricked Chronos by giving him a rock one time when he was about to eat the last son, Zeus. And he swallowed the rock, and they carried Zeus off in swaddling clothing. Oh, goddamn, but I heard that shit before. Wasn't that so-called a king trying to kill the firstborn children? And the damn Jesus was born on a motherfucking manger and was carried off to Egypt in swaddling clothing? It's just an ancient story transferred on, so they kept the same Greek mythology of Zeus. Well, what the fuck did Zeus do? Let's see. After that, Zeus rebelled against all the damn Titans, his father's brothers, and all the ancient ones. And thus the Titan was apparently to be the embodiment of 12 powers. Now listen, let's just begin the famous war of the Titans against Zeus and his associate, Olympus. Olympus, now, were the stronghold of Zeus. So basically, what happened was this. They had a war for 10 years. Zeus had another child by the name of Dionysus. The Titans came to Dionysus and gave him toys. This is mythology where we can explain the energy. And they chewed up Dionysus and devoured him. Zeus got mad and took a lightning bolt and crushed the Titans. And took the Titans and their dust, titanium, a titanic dust, satanic dust, and made humans out of the motherfuckers, which is us. So we are made up of the Titan, or the satanic, or the satanic, or the Typhonian race of people. You get this? The Typhonian race of people. Dionysus, which is Osiris, is another story, had a divine spark in him, and we even got that spark in us mixed with the Typhonian, or Titan dust, which is melanin. And in the melanin is one seed, which is a divine spark, which all that together make us illuminate.